you need to make money in the long term, and you'll be like very much vigilant whensoever you're spending. So for somebody who's planning to get started, especially if you're a youngster, if you feel that okay, this is not the right time for you to invest because you don't have enough money, I would like to say the money that you spend for eating outside, that is good enough for you to get started with investing and develop a habit that you're going to cherish for the long term.
Is it the story of that Three Idiot Farhan wala guy? Ki my son will be a mechanical engineer.
No, not at all. Actually, I wanted to get into mechanical engineering. So as I mentioned to you, I was also somebody who got into the markets to get rich quick. But then at some point in time, after wiping out accounts like twice or thrice, you understand, okay, this is not the way forward. So when we get started in the markets, majority of the beginners, they have this beginner's luck.
Okay.
That is, due to some or the other reason, the first 2-3 trades that you make most probably would be profitable. I don't know why. This is the same experience with majority of the people out there who are just getting started. And we always have this particular feeling that we are always right. Now, in order to figure out where your view goes wrong and you to come out of the trade, that is where skills matters. So all of us can enter into a trade or all of us can invest in any particular share. But when to come out, that is a question.
Hello, hi, namaskar, adab, abhinandan और आभार. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, देवी और सज्जनों. This is your host and दोस्त Kanish Gupta and welcome to our channel Wealthy Talks and to our series hashtag मेरी investment story, which is powered by Wealthy, a wealth management platform that has over 800 plus financial products and thousands of partners associated. Wealthy is a one-stop solution for all your investment needs. If you have not checked it out yet, प्लीज चेक इट आउट नाउ. वेल, हमारी हैशटैग मेरी इन्वेस्टमेंट स्टोरी की सीरीज को कंटिन्यू करते हुए आज हम आ गए एक और एंटरप्रेन्योर के पास, एक ऐसे सीईओ जिन्होंने अपने कॉलेज डेज में ही एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप जर्नी स्टार्ट कर दी थी. उनको बचपन से ही स्टॉक मार्केट और ट्रेडिंग में काफ़ी इंटरेस्ट रहा है एंड फ्रॉम लास्ट 6 years he has been into the financial market, a mechanical engineer turned into a financial enthusiast. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the founder and CEO of Lifelong Wealth, Mr. Hariprasad K.
My first question to you.
Okay.
You are an engineer from VIT and now an entrepreneur in the financial space. So, engineer from being an engineer to a financial enthusiast, how did this transition happen?
So to be very honest, I personally don't consider this to be a big transition.
Okay.
So as you know, most of the people from the financial field must be from the engineering background itself. And I guess like almost 90% of the people I personally know who are into trading or into wealth management, they themselves are engineers. So I don't consider this to be a transition. Now, if you kind of actually speak about engineering, it is more about statistics, correct? Now, when we speak about markets also, it is all a game of numbers. It's all about probability and how you can actually manage odds in your favor. So to be to the point, I don't consider this to be a transition at all.
Okay, but an interesting thing that I got to know about you is from your school days you were into market, and then you became financially independent right from your college.
Second year.
So how did this thing happen? Like from school onwards, you were so much interested into markets?
Okay, I'll tell you like what attracts me to the markets. So now, just like most of the people out there, so when we speak about the markets or when we hear about the markets, the first thing that comes to our mind is money. Correct?
True.
And at the time I was actually doing my schooling. So, okay, we hear about stock markets here and there, but we didn't have that kind of an exposure. And now when we hear about like the Junjunwalas, or we kind of hear about the top Wall Street traders, it's all associated with money. So there's always this particular fascination to figure out what is actually going inside this. Is it so easy to make money? So ultimately, even I came into the markets for easy money. Because we feel just like what is projected in the movies or in the magazines, is all about money, and it sounds too easy also. But once you step into the market, that is when you realize it's not at all easy to make money. So I have been like curious about this from schooling itself. Now when I got into college, I got enough of opportunities to explore the field. So I got started exploring. That was from my friends. Then I used to attend all these events that was conducted by brokers.
Okay.
Then there was like plenty of resources out there in the internet too. So at that point in time, we didn't have much of Indian or the YouTube channels or something. Rather, we had like many foreign YouTube channels which was into the markets. So that was one avenue that I explored. Then later on, my ambition was actually to work for a proprietary trading firm, and the best one over here in India was or is Futures First,
Okay.
which trades in the European market. So then my goal was like to crack into Futures First, trade the European markets on a sizable figure, and that's how it ends up here.
And what was your vision to start, live long wealth management, like the company that you are running? You have been running it over like last 6 years. What was your vision towards, starting this firm?
Okay, so Live Long Wealth didn't really start off in the financial markets, rather, it started off in the health domain.
Okay.
So at that particular point in time, this particular trading was just a means to fund my other company that was working in the health domain.
Okay.
But later on, things took a turn that I got more fascinated to the financial markets as compared to the other startup that I was working on, that I completely switched into the financial markets. Then there is this particular saying that you can be good at something and then you can work on improvising on that rather than focusing on multiple areas. So at some point in time, I felt, okay, this is what is meant for me, or this is what I'm good at. So now if you ask me like whether I can take up a job in the mechanical engineering field, so from my first year onwards, I was like 100% sure I'm not going to pursue that. What I wanted to pursue was the financial markets. So obviously,
So you're a mechanical engineer.
Yeah, I'm a
is
mechanical
it the
engineer.
story of that Three Idiot Farhan wala guy? Ki my son will be a mechanical
no,
engineer.
not at all. Actually, I wanted to get into mechanical engineering because
Okay.
I have always been fascinated about cars, bikes, machines, all these things. So that's the reason I chose mechanical engineering. But then once you get into mechanical engineering, see the good thing about college or engineering is that you get to interact with lot of like-minded people. Plus who have kind of same aspirations or kind of same ambitions. So networking is what you learn at engineering college, and you
Correct.
get a lot to learn from each person out there. So mechanical engineering, like if you ask, like if I went for maybe BCom or if I went for some sort of an MBA in finance, maybe I must have ended up in some sort of a corporate job, and I would not be doing this. So I kind of consider that to be an opportunity to get into this.
Well, you have actually turned that opportunity into a big thing today.
Exactly.
And that's really great. But let's talk about, your investment journey.
Okay.
Like what was the first time you invested? Or let's say, what was your first salary? Or what did you do with it? Like any normal guy, like what I did was I definitely partied hard, didn't think about investment. What did you do with it? And then where is your investment standing today? How your portfolio looks like today?
So, see, I didn't get started with investing, rather, I got started with trading.
Okay.
And the funds that I personally used for trading was my pocket money. So, I started off with something like 16,000 rupees when I was like in my first year of college that I wiped out. Wiped out means it just vanished.
You just
Because-
lost that.
Exactly.
Okay.
That was a point in time when the Indian brokers used to give us like 40x leverage. That is, if you have like 1,000 rupees in your pocket, you have the potential to trade worth 40,000 rupees. So obviously with 10,000, you can actually get 40x leverage. So it's going to be easier for you to make money, as well as it is going to be very easy for you to lose money as well. So initially, my particular goal or my personal goal was that, okay, I have so and so amount. Let me just double or triple my capital really quick. Because if we have like some sort of a 1% move in our favor, if I'm trading on 40x leverage, that is a 40% return. So as I mentioned to you, I was also somebody who got into the markets to get rich quick. But then at some point in time, after wiping out accounts like twice or thrice, you understand, okay, this is not the way forward. You have to have something else in place that is going to make you money. So
what were your learnings from that? Like after making losses, those 2-3 times, how did you recover that, and what did you learn from it? Ki how this is how I got a trade now.
So I'll tell you. So when we get started in the markets, majority of the beginners, they have this beginner's luck.
Okay.
That is due to some or the other reason, the first 2-3 trades that you make most probably would be profitable. I don't know why. This is the same experience with majority of the people out there who are just getting started. Now, this kind of actually make people so overconfident that somebody who gets started with something like 10,000 rupees, they straight away pump in 2 or 3 lakh rupees because they feel that they have figured it out. And that is when they're going to get a backfiring that they lose. Now, see, we are all human beings, correct? And we always have this particular feeling that we are always right. And we take a trade with a view. Now, in order to figure out where your view goes wrong and you to come out of the trade, that is where skills matters. So all of us can enter into a trade or all of us can invest in any particular share. But when to come out, that is the question. So in my initial days, the reason I was losing money was because even after I take a trade, even if the trade goes wrong, I was not ready to accept the fact that my trade has actually gone against me. I used to stick on to this particular position just with this particular belief that some or the other way the price is going to recover or things are going to move in my favor. And that costs you. That is, you will be holding on to the position until and unless your positions go in deep red.
Okay.
Because you are on the verge of wiping out your account. So, as a beginner, the best thing that you could do is figure out for yourself why you are taking a trade and figure out that exact point where you understand for yourself your view goes wrong. So, come out exactly when your view goes wrong and then don't stick on to it with a perspective that your position is going to come back in green. So, just come out as soon as you understand your view goes wrong. Now, on the other hand side, if the trade is running in your favor, make sure that you're juicing out the best out of it. So this is also another mistake that beginners make. So human psychology is such that like when we are taking a loss, we are ready to lose 10 rupees. That will be considered as a single losing trade.
Correct.
But let's say that you're making a winning trade. You would be happy in coming out at 2 rupees profit. So in the losing trades, you'll be losing a lot more money than the profits that you make in your winning trades. So this is also a psychological aspect. So our mind registers even small victories to be a winning trade. But if it is a big losing trade that is coming, that is also considered to be a single losing trade. Now you would be having this particular perspective that okay, next time I'm going to make money. It's fine losing big amounts. So make sure that you're capable of sticking on longer to your winning trades. If your trade is running in your favor and if your view is still the same, hold on to it as much as you can and get the best out of it. Now, on the other hand side, let's say the trade is going against you. Keep a hard stop. That is, figure out that particular point where you understand the trade or the trend actually reverses and just come out of it. Don't hold on it for longer duration of time because in that process, you have a likelihood of wiping out.
So, in simple words, if I would say, it is always important to have a target and a
Exactly.
stop loss.
Yeah.
Correct.
And just make sure that you have a higher odd
Okay.
of making more money than what you're putting at stake. So, for example, let me just ask you this question. I'm asking you to jump from this particular level to the floor, and I'm going to offer you 1 CR. So, probably it is something that you can worth trying. Max to max, you're going to break a leg. Not
correct.
beyond that. And most probably that also won't happen.
So, I am smaller in height. Maybe I'll break both of my legs.
That's a max that could happen. And we understand that the max risk that we're taking for this 1 CR that we're getting is maybe you had to take rest for 1 month.
Correct.
That's it. But you're getting 1 share in your pocket. Now, what if I ask you to do the same from the top of this building? It becomes pointless.
I won't do it.
You won't do it. So that is like you are assessing for yourself the risk that you're taking and what is the potential reward you could get out of it. But when it kind of comes to the markets, we don't think that way. Majority of the times we trade, beginners actually get started with the markets in a gambling mindset.
Correct.
Let's see what happens. After they take the trade, that is when they decide how much am I thinking to make out of it and how much am I putting at stake. So before you enter a trade itself, we need to figure out what is the max risk tolerance I have in this particular position. On the other hand, say, let's say this trade is working out in my favor. What is the best I can extract out of it? So if I feel, okay, I can make 2 rupees by risking 1 rupee, I would be more than happy to enter into a trade which has a probability of success of almost 50-50. Now, if I feel that, okay, it is just 1 rupee that I can make by risking 1 rupee, it becomes pointless for me to attempt
Correct.
that particular trade. So now there could be some setups or strategy that is giving higher probability, maybe like 70% or 65%. Therefore, a 1:1 is also fine. But majority of the strategies out there has just a 50% hit rate. So at minimum 1:2 risk reward you need. And yeah, one more very important point. So when I was getting started, I used to commit this particular sin, and that majority of the people do. We refer to that as system hopping.
System hopping.
Yeah.
Okay.
So sounds complex, but it is very simple.
Uh,
So let's kind of actually say that today I'm trading strategy A.
okay.
Okay. I might be making money today, whereas you traded strategy B today. You also made money.
Mm.
So tomorrow I'm trading the same strategy A and I lose money over there. But strategy B had given profits.
Okay.
So there is the saying grass is always greener on the other side. Correct?
That's true. Yeah.
So when I start seeing that you made money today, whereas my strategy made a loss, there is a natural tendency that I skip this strategy and I move to your
My
strategy. And ultimately, this is a never-ending process. So we always feel that there is one particular holy grail in the market that is going to make us money the entire time, and we keep jumping from one particular strategy to the other without sticking or without kind of actually staying consistent in any particular setup. So what happens is that we try out a lot of systems without even getting comfortable in any single one. So that I was also doing. I was figuring out like lot of strategies, trying out different indicators which never worked. Ultimately, I ended up losing a lot of money trying out different things. Then we kind of have this sort of feeling that complex things is the ones that makes money. That the simple things don't work. We need to have something so complicated or so like what do you say, look scary in order to make money. In that particular process, also, I wasted a lot of time and efforts figuring out various strategies. And I probably would have spent almost, I think, around some 4 to 5 lakh rupees exploring various tools, events, all these kind of stuff to find that holy grail that makes money all the time. Because initially, when we get started, we feel right that, and the projection about markets is also such that 90% of the times, 90% accurate calls or 99% accurate strategy. So to be very honest, right now we have enough of resources to understand what is realistic. But at that point in time, when I was getting started, we really didn't have much of realistic sources, and the kind of number of people who were participating in the markets on like who had a presence on social media, all these things were also less. So we had this feeling, okay, if you're a trader, majority of the times you have to make money. So we keep searching for that holy grail without sticking with any particular strategy or system, which is ultimately going to take us nowhere. So better figure out what kind of trading style suits you. Stick with one or two systems that you feel is apt for your psychology.
Correct.
And then work on being an expert in it, master it. Then obviously, after a point in time, maybe some strategy will stop working. You have to think about working on something else then. But till then, stick with something that is suiting your risk appetite as well as your trading psychology. Try to master that rather than jumping here and there, trying out multiple systems and setups. So this is one most common mistake that beginners make. Especially with thousands of strategies available on the net. People try switching from strategy to strategy
Correct.
on a daily or a weekly basis, and they never end up finding something that suits them. So better figure out for yourself what works, fine tune it as per your comfort.
Okay. Well, like Hari, this was really an amazing answer. But then moving on, you have this experience like 6, 7 years of good, financial experience. And in today's world, people are more looking towards growing their wealth at a much faster rate rather than managing it. So if you had to give certain suggestions that how one should manage and grow their wealth at the same time, what would you actually say to it?
So in the present market condition, situations are such that it's extremely volatile.
Correct.
Now, if you ask me, is trading something that is meant for everyone? The answer is no. So you have to spend a lot of time or you have to dedicate a lot of efforts for somebody to manage trades. Now, if you ask me regarding investing, yeah, definitely long-term investing is apt and suitable for everyone out there. And right now we have this facility of investing through SIPs, SIPs, or you have provisions to kind of set up periodic investments through multiple third-party vendors like Small Case and all these platforms like that. So for someone who is getting started in the markets, who really doesn't have much of a time to spare for the markets, the best possibility out there would be setting up a certain amount on a monthly basis that you want to invest regularly, irrespective of what the market conditions are.
Okay. And what would be the financial instruments that they should go
So
after?
somebody who is actually lesser than 35, I personally would recommend just invest in equities.
Okay.
And if you are somebody who is very much concerned about taking drawdown means at any point in time how much your equity could come down.
Okay.
So if you're someone who's too concerned about drawdowns, then think about investing systematically only into blue chip companies. Whereas if you're someone who has the cushion to take some risk, make it a mix of both mid caps as well as blue chips. So I personally don't prefer small caps because I'm not so comfortable in the volatility it gives. So I myself consider mid caps as well as blue chips for investing for the long term. And this though I kind of participate by keeping aside a certain amount on a monthly basis, irrespective of what the market conditions are. Now, obviously, since I'm actively participating in the markets, I really don't go with a fixed date. Rather, I look at the levels, that is, I look at the prices, look at the levels, and then I take trades.
Okay.
So, in fact, it is something that we refer to as momentum investing. So, where you look out for stocks that has some sort of a momentum associated with it, you enter it. Now, once you feel the momentum is getting exhausted, you come out of it and use that particular margin or those funds for some other stocks. So, this is not exactly investing, kind of a trading plus investing hybrid model.
Got it. So, I mean, great. I mean, I learned this thing because I'm less than 35. I would prefer now investing only
Exactly.
in equities.
Yeah.
So, great. Thank you so much for that. My last question to you is, before we end this, if there are any investment suggestions, any life taking decision suggestions, or any suggestions you would like to give to our viewers, what
Sure.
would that be?
So I'll kind of actually tell you. So when I was getting started with investing, okay, I'll keep aside trading because as majority of you won't be having the time or something for it. But as far as investing is kind of concerned, we think that we'll get started with investing once I have so and so amount.
Correct.
That is, when I was in college, I was thinking, as you asked, did I party with my first? So when I was getting pocket money, or also when I was studying in college, I used to do some sort of side gigs like developing websites. I used to sell whey protein powders.
Whey protein powders.
Yeah, I had this health startup, and we were kind of actually straight away sourcing whey protein supplements, and we were selling it all across gyms.
So this was in college?
Yeah, this was in college, and I
Okay.
was making a good amount of money by selling protein supplements.
Okay.
So I always used to think, okay, let me just maybe buy this particular phone or buy this particular bike with this particular money. Investing though will do it later once I have maybe 5 lakhs or 10 lakhs in liquid cash, just like that. So till then, I'll kind of just enjoy something like that. But what I understand is, as soon as I started investing, that is maybe small amounts like 2,000 rupees or 3,000 rupee, rather than what profits I made out of it. So many people think investing 2,000 rupee or 3,000 rupee doesn't make any sense. Yes, it's true. But it develops a habit.
Of you investing on regular basis.
Exactly. So once you get started with investing, then the way how you look at money changes altogether.
Correct.
So rather than spending maybe 2,000 rupee or 3,000 rupee on a party, you look at it, okay, this 2,000 rupee or 3,000 rupee, if I'm putting into the markets, what is it going to yield me after so and so years? So getting started with investing with a small amount, obviously it is not going to make you rich initially, but it is going to create that sort of a mindset that is definitely going to make you rich in the long term.
Correct.
So it's all about programming your mindset in such a manner that you need to make money in the long term, and you will be like very much vigilant whensoever you are spending. So for somebody who's planning to get started, especially if you're a youngster, if you feel that, okay, this is not the right time for you to invest because you don't have enough money, I would like to say the money that you spend for eating outside, that is good enough for you to get started with investing and develop a habit that you're going to cherish for the long term. So don't procrastinate or don't kind of like delay it further for you to have a rise in your package or for you to get some sort of better returns from some other investments or something like that. Just get started as fast as possible, and that definitely though is going to make a lot of difference in the long term, irrespective of how much of a small amount you're getting started off with.
Great. So this is a great learning, And I would like to repeat this thing once again. Start it. Simply start
Exactly.
it today. Be it 1,000, be it 2,000, be it 3,000. Don't stop yourself from investing.
So once you get started, once the wheel gets rolling, that habit starts.
Great. So amazing. That was really amazing. Like the biggest learning I got today from this was even when you are less than 35, focus more on investing in equities. That is something I'm going to take away from this particular session. And before we end this, we're gonna play a quick
Yeah.
rapid fire
Done.
round. We call it Wealthy Fun O'Clock.
Okay.
So ready
Yeah.
for it?
Done.
Great. So Hari, here's your first question.
Yeah, sure.
And answer very carefully.
Okay.
Would you rather choose brand growth or profitability?
I'll choose profitability.
Everyone wants today.
Yeah.
Great. 100 crore in your account or live long as a unicorn. Don't be greedy.
100 crores in my account.
Got him. Great. What would you name your autobiography? And if there was a film made, which actor would you want it to play?
Okay. I would name it maybe.
We don't have much time.
I might be naming it my failures.
Okay. And who do you think should play if there was a movie made?
I'll try to act myself.
He wants to be an actor too. Great. Would you rather have more experience or more education?
I'll have more experience anytime.
Great. Last but not the least, masala dosa ya idli. And why?
Masala dosa.
Why?
Because I like little bit spice here and there.
Oh, great. So it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was really a great session with you. And I hope हमारे viewers को भी मजा आया हो. And if you really like this video, then do share it. Thank you so much, Hari, once again.
Thanks a lot.
And
So thanks a
thank
lot
you
for giving me this opportunity as well.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
वेल गाइज ये तो थी हैशटैग मेरी इन्वेस्टमेंट स्टोरी बाय हरी। अगर आपको ये वीडियो पसंद आया तो प्लीज़ इस वीडियो को लाइक करें और शेयर ज़रूर करें और अपनी इन्वेस्टमेंट स्टोरीज हमें बताएं बाय पुटिंग हैशटैग मेरी इन्वेस्टमेंट स्टोरी एंड टैगिंग वेल्दी अलॉन्ग विद योर 3 फ्रेंड्स। Some of the best pairing stories will stand a chance to feature on the Wealthy page along with some gift hampers. तो सोचो नहीं, शेयर करो। Think wealth, get wealthy.